to mouse and keyboard again.
Oh, you little needy little troll.
You can set it to where it always allows it, but I'm sorry.
Okay, do your thing. Show me things. We learn. Do stuff.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you remember Godot, right?
For the most part, yeah.
So it's very, very similar. You have a viewport, which is this box right here.
Mm-hmm.
It has this symbol. You can rearrange everything in Blender, so you can have it laid out with different stuff. So I can make a new one and say, we don't want this window. We can just get rid of that window. Or we don't want this bottom window. We can get rid of that window. Nope, that was
Holy
wrong.
shit.
Oop. There we go. We don't want this window. We can get rid of this window. We don't want this window. We can get rid. So like, you can have it however you want.
Oh, hold on. Something freaked out. Fuck. Hold on. Display capture. Okay. Back to you, sir.
Hold on. Let me. You can stop streaming on Discord because I can see your screen.
Fuck.
That way you're not streaming on 3 different things.
Okay. So how do I? Why didn't this do window capture?
What?
Oh my deal! I'm trying to record. It's being fuckety. Trying to do window capture. It lets me select it, but then it just doesn't
Doesn't work.
show anything. Yeah.
I'd recommend doing display capture anyway because you're going to have different windows that pop up that won't show in the window capture because it's a different window and like we
Okay,
did.
but it shows my little bar at the
Godot.
bottom, like my taskbar.
Yeah. If anything, you can crop it.
You know what? I'm not even that worried about it. Anyways, do your thing, sir.
Take your Parsec window and put it on a different monitor. Yeah. Are you streaming yet?
I'm recording.
Oh, just recording.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a regular video I'm gonna upload. Cause I figured we'll stream later playing some Borderlands. Do we need to get rid of this? Oh my god.
My bad. Because I moved the thing. What do you? No. So, what I was gonna say is the location of things changes. You can have anything you want wherever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this one, the properties panel is right here, and on the one we just made, properties panels over here. So, don't get too used to just the fact that it's in a location. Get used to these symbols. So, property symbol, outliner, files, 3D viewport, UV editor, dope sheet, timeline, stuff like that. There's also geometry nodes and stuff, and I haven't used them since they added it, so I can't teach you that.
Okay.
but it's cool. Um, so this is your viewport. Okay, middle mouse rotates,
Mm-hmm.
shift middle mouse pans, scroll wheel scrolls. Right.
Yep.
Right click opens more menu. Left click, then right click. You get menu for the vehicle. Vehicle, object. You can click and drag, select a bunch of stuff. Okay. This
Okay.
thingy is like Godot, where you can click it and drag it as well, or click certain degrees.
Nice.
Okay. So first, let's look at these tools. So there's different type of modes for this viewport. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're in object mode, which means we can select an object and we can move the object, rotate the object, stuff like that. Okay. Um, if you will select a camera, if you on the top left, you see object mode, you can click it. There's no other option
Mm-hmm.
because cameras don't have the other options. But if I select this cube, which is just, an 8-point cube, I can go into this and then it has a bunch of options. The big ones are going to be object, edit, and sculpt.
Okay.
So these are for textures and then animating weight paints and then I think vertex paint is just a terrible paint. Sculpt mode is like you can make it into like clay, but you have to do a thing first because right now it only has one vertex, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, edit mode is where you're gonna like change the cube. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Each one has their own bar over here. And it has a whole bunch of tools. Sculpt mode has a whole bunch of tools. There's another bar over here that you can click this little icon for. There's also shortcut keys for everything. I recommend you learn them. Find more tools in here. Sometimes more tools show up over here. But you have move, rotate, scale. All of them at once, I guess, which I never use. Annotate, measure. And add cube. I've never used that in my life. Okay. First thing I would say is learn shortcut keys. So a quick one is if you hit tab, it goes between edit mode and object mode, which is nice. And then in most things, you have things like G, which is to move an object. So if you hit G and then you move the mouse, you can move an object. If you right click, it cancels what you just did. If you left click, it saves what you just did. You could also hit enter. The most things can be done with a value as well, so you don't just have to move the mouse. So if you hit G and then you hit Y for the Y axis, you can type in a number. So I type in like 3. and it moves it by 3 on the y-axis. And if you hit X, it'll do the x-axis, Z, do the z-axis, and if you hit it again, it probably does nothing. Yeah, it just goes back to normal. If you hit minus right now, it adds a minus before the number that you had typed previously. So you can make it a -3 instead of a +3. This is really nice when you want to be precise and stuff, because OCD.
Okay.
Okay. So that works with rotating. You can type in numbers. You can also select an axis. So our X only rotates on X, Y, Y, Z, Z. The shortcut for that is R. G is move. And then scale is S. Now, scale is a bit different. It has a little bit more. So y-axis, x-axis, z-axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on this one, you can do Shift Z, and it'll do the Y and the X and not the Z. Or Shift Y, and it'll do the X and Y, or it'll do the X and Z, but not the Y. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Get rid of this ugly cube. Yeah. So those are the shortcut keys you're going to use a lot. Now, if you go to edit mode, these shortcut keys also work. Okay.
Okay.
Another important shortcut key. So you can go up here, and all your tools, everything you need, you can touch without shortcut keys. But this one you'll use a lot, which is add, and it's meshes, curve, surface, metaballs, text, volumes, armatures, a whole bunch of stuff. Shift A pulls up this menu. Okay. Do you know what a mesh is?
I know what like a mesh fence is.
Okay, it kind of works like that. So a mesh is going to be like your objects that are made out of polygons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And polygons are made out of a whole bunch of vertices that are connected. Right?
Yes.
So vertices are these points. In edit mode, you can select vertices, you can select edges, and you can select faces. These are mesh objects.
So you can just shape them to anything you want
Yes.
or mesh them, whatever.
They are editable by vertices. Now, we have other types of objects, so we can do curves, which is math. You have point here, and you tell it direction. Getting it? And it makes a curve. These can be used
for like roads.
Yeah. You can make things bend along a curve, and so you can use curves for things like that. I'll show you some of that later. Surface is basically a curve, but
wider.
hold on, let me. Yeah. It's been so long, I keep forgetting the keys now. You can make a face out of it.
I don't know if I'm that talented.
Okay.
It's a slide.
Yeah. And like if I take this, too few arguments, too few sections. Do I have to grab the whole side? Hold on. Okay. But basically it's you have your points and then it does math in between. And so it's like these where you have a physical, like plane here, but it's using a different system. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
It's like it's like the line, but you can make a physical object with it. Now, with the cube and stuff, we can do similar things. So I'll show you later, actually. I don't want to over too much information. Metaballs are fun. So you got a ball, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get another ball, they're like, bleh.
They be kissing.
They be kissing. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for this one. They're useful in some certain things.
They make cool landscape. Like side of a mountain or something.
Yeah, I mean, you could use them for pretty much anything. And you can make them into a static mesh like these later too, so that they don't do this anymore, and then you can take them and sculpt from them. Here, I'll do that right now. So if I take you, convert to mesh, and then I go into sculpting, I can like, yeah.
Nice.
Then we have volumes, which is like smoke sims and stuff. If you want to make a cloud, like a literal cloud, not like model cloud, you can use a volume.
Okay.
There's not one on your computer that I can just show you. Grease pencil is, I don't know how to use
Why
it
does that say
properly.
monkey?
I need to watch a tutorial because you can make a monkey grease pencil. So this is Suzanne. So this is the only like model in Blender that is like not a primitive, and its name is Suzanne. I can make her pretty. Grease pencil is like drawing, so you can do 2D animation stuff in a 3D space. The blue one you see right now is not technically a grease pencil. Well, it kind of is, but it's the annotation. So that's what this button right here is. This one. It's so like you can draw stuff, make notes, stuff,
Yeah.
the shortcut is D, so I'm just holding D and drawing, and then if I right click instead of left click, I can erase things. Also, they're a frame per frame basis.
So like if you wanted to make them walk or something.
Yeah, so like you could You could animate them and everything.
Hell yeah.
Okay, armatures are bones. So this is when we get into rigging an object to animate. Lattices are similar. Basically, you can put a cube around something, and then you bend and twist that cube, and it bends and twists whatever's in the cube. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
I'll show you. If I can remember how to use it. So like we put Thudan inside. And then lattice settings, we'll give it some more. Okay. And lattice B. No, it's not what I want. Oh, because it messed up. Lattice deform. Um,
So basically just make it bigger or small?
kinda. I just messed something up. What if I... There we go. Now, it's a bit too detailed, so like none of this is going to do anything. Let me actually fix that. Okay. So it deforms close to whatever point's near them. So like you can take this and you can kind of like deform it and stuff. So like if I were to take this top row and rotate it, like I can twist the whole
Oh.
thing based on a lattice. Whoops. So it's just a tool to like deform things, but I can animate the lattice and stuff.
Hmm.
And then again, armature is just like bones. So like if you had a character, you'd use this to. It doesn't even have to be humanoid, but you'd use it to animate linkages attached to each other, basically. Empty is just a point in space. It don't do nothing. But like, for example, if I wanted this to
Jesus.
that's not right. Okay, I'm gonna attach a different thing. I'm gonna if I wanted this circle to basically move with this, so like this be a marker of like a point in space, and I want this circle to follow it, I can just move this as a parent to it. It's just reference point that you can use for different things if you want.
Okay.
Image, you can import a image. That's that. Yep. A light. Um, is a light. So right now we're in. Don't remember what it's called. So up here, solid. Yeah, solid shade. And then there's other choices like wireframe, which is what I've been switching to. And then there's textured material preview. Yeah, which basically we're gonna go into cycles and GPU. I need to change your settings real quick. I think OptiX is what we want. Okay, so what this preview does is it just previews like the material. So like if it was red, it would show up as red. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then the rendered view, which might take a second. Cool, it loaded quick. This is the final view of like what it will look like. Now it's gonna be super grainy because it's not gonna make itself perfect because that'd be a waste. But it's a live preview, which not all applications had. So pretty sick. Anyway, back to what the light is. It's a light. And this is the one I added, which is a spotlight. I can tell it point here. Yeah. If you hold Z, it's a shortcut to the different modes. Camera is a camera. This thing right here. This is what you will render if you render anything in this, you'll see it through this. Which I think is F12. Yeah. So this is what the camera's final render view looks like. Nothing party.
Looks like a cube.
Yup. But a red cube. Shortcut for camera is 0 on the numpad, which I don't think you have, do you?
Nope.
Numpad's useful in this because like you can move the camera incrementally or go into orthographic view, which basically means flat. So like see the cube here?
Mm-hmm.
The rear and the front are the same size. But because of how perspective works, we don't normally see that. So like this is perspective, like how we normally see, and then this is like orthographic, which means everything's flat. It's useful in some cases. But you can go into the different, this button basically with the numpad. Speaker you're never gonna use because I used it when they had a game engine, but that's it. Force fields for physics stuff. So say you have particles, you can just push those particles with these. Got it?
Sure.
Yeah. I know it was a lot, but you'll figure it out.
So I want to start with building a landscape.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Do like a small piece of land and then add trees.
Okay. So let me, okay, hold on. Shift A. And let's make a mesh. Everything we're going to use is going to be a mesh. And you can use a plane, cube, circle. I would say just use a plane since it's, we're never going to see the underside of it. Okay. Now, when you're not selecting anything, is it possible to not select anything? No. Okay. Well, this stuff right here changes depending on what you have selected. Also, this is not deleted. There we go. It's gone. But if you select your plane, you get a whole bunch of stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your properties. This is like the tree we had in the Godot.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is your properties panel, which will have modifiers, physics, particle stuff, physics, constraints. This is vertex data stuff, and then material. The one we're going to use today is just going to be your object, which just has general properties such as like transform and stuff. And then material. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Could also do some other stuff too to like automate some things, but that's for later. Okay, so what I want you to do is make this plane bigger. But make sure you do it in edit mode because anything you do out here is fine if you never leave Blender, but as soon as you export it to elsewhere, that data doesn't always get transferred. It goes back to default value sometimes. And if you do any edits outside, it's going to be wrong. And it's no fun. So you can select different points. And if you shift, you can select more points. Control also selects more points. Okay. Did you just drag right click?
Yes.
Was that what that did? How did you move that?
Holding shift.
Why? Why did you move that?
Because I'm learning.
Don't move that. Okay. So to size the whole thing, you can just select all of it. So highlight all of it. You can left click and drag. Didn't bring up a selection window. Also with like, these points are sometimes annoying to click. So I generally just kind of highlight, 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 highlight versus trying to like click them. Sometimes it works fine. But yeah, if I click here and then control click here, it clicks along a line. There's a bunch of shortcuts you'll learn. Let's just size it up by 20. Nope. Nope. Don't use that panel. So in edit mode, you will just you use your tools that are over here. This properties is for other stuff. So if we size this, if we export it, it's going to be this big. Okay. If we touch this and we export it, it's going to be this big. Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, how did you make it big?
So, right. So, in edit mode, I just use the shortcut key S, but it's also this one right here. And if you hover over them, they will tell you like what their shortcut key is. That one's T. Ignore the shift spacebar stuff. Oh, it's on the spacebar. That's what it is. I don't even know if your spacebar set up. Was that the spacebar?
No.
Hold on. What were you hitting?
Shift S. Know what you said to hit?
No, just S. Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah. And so since we want a specific number, you can just type in 20.
where do I type the 20 at?
You just start typing. And then you can hit enter or left click. So it's pretty big. Okay. Now I want to subdivide. Now there's a couple ways of doing this. Subdividing basically means you're taking a point and you're making points in between those points. Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to select all the points.
Was it Control or Shift?
Just take your mouse and you can just highlight the whole thing. Yeah, and then hold shift and get the ones you missed. Yeah. Shortcut key to select everything's A.
Oh.
Now is there a No, there's not. So whoops, that was safe. There's shortcut keys for everything. I don't remember what the shortcut key for subdivide is. So all the tools that aren't over here that you need are going to be in here. So subdivide, I think, will be in multiple of these. Look, okay, so there's subdivide. No, okay, it's just in edges. This is what we need, is subdivide, which if we hover over this right here, it'll tell us what its shortcut is. So if we hit Control E, it'll bring up the edge menu, and then we can find subdivide. But there's a whole bunch of things. So there's mesh, there's setting, there's different tools for that, vertices, edges, faces, UVs. UVs will be used later for textures, but mesh, vertex, edge, and face are the ones that you're going to use a lot. So what I want you to do is Control E to pull up the edge menu while you have everything selected and go to subdivide. Yep. And do you see what it did?
Now I can make this one bigger, not these. Divided it. Because it added more
I'm sorry,
points.
what? Yeah, so you added more points. So you have more.
So I can
things
make
you
one of
adjust.
these
So, like,
squares bigger. And then, yeah.
yeah, you can also just, yeah. But there's more to this tool. So now that we did that, in the bottom left, there's this thing right here. where it says subdivide. That's because we haven't technically saved it yet. If we, it is saved, so right-clicking won't cancel it. But we have some subdivide options down here. So number of cuts is gonna change the amount it subdivides by. So like if you have one plane, it's gonna subdivide once and be two planes, lengthwise, like edges. So one edge will become two edges. If you have two edges and you subdivide by one, it's going to become four edges. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can tell it to do it by a different amount. So by two, which means you now have three edges out of one instead of two. And again, if you subdivide by two on two faces or two edges, you'll now have six. Does that kind of make sense?
Kinda.
Okay. That's what that do. We want more. So give us more. A lot more. More. 20.
$20 billion.
Yeah, good enough. Okay, smooth this. Crank that all the way up and watch what it do. Just grab and slide. Yeah. Wow, that did nothing, did it? Why
No.
did that do nothing? Okay, well, basically, if you have a model that's like, it would have rounded these edges. You know?
Oh.
So, anyway. Subdivide 20. Fractal just
Jesus.
randomizes their positions. So, like, if you wanted, you could even just like do this a little bit. That way, your terrain's a little rough up to the beginning.
Huh.
Along normal basically says the constraint of this randomness. In this case, the normal is up and down. So basically, what it's going to do is it's going to keep them lined up. So like your edge is going to stay perfect, right? But it's still randomized on the z-axis. Does that make sense?
Yeah, kinda. Like, so it keeps it from popping out of the sides going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeps since we're square, it keeps everything square instead of getting all wonky.
I'll squish it.
Yeah. So if you want to mess with that, you can. But this should be good enough for now. We're just gonna make it a low quality terrain. Well, actually, no, I'm doubling it. Screw you.
Okay.
Because I just remembered how far we zoomed out.
It's a cell arena. Let's fight Cell.
Hit enter whenever you have it where you want
It did nothing.
it. Okay. Well, so now we have this plane, but instead of it being 4 points,
It's a million.
it's a lot of points. I think there's a specific way to look. Why doesn't it tell me?
Oh.
I thought it used to tell me on the bottom corner. It does not seem to. Anyway. Okay. So there's two ways we can do this. So this is your ground, right?
Mhm.
You can either grab things and just, model it bit by bit, or we can go into sculpt mode and
Spectacular.
sculpt it. So this is specifically pushing down, but you can change it.
Huh. Like if you wanted to build a little lake or something.
Actually, is this pushing up? We were upside down the whole time. Anyway. Yeah, so like if you wanted to do a lake, you could hit this minus button. I'm gonna make the radius a bit bigger and we'll up the strength. Just like we can have a lake, and then you can do plus, and then you can make a mountain over here. You know?
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
like that. And then in here, there's a whole bunch of different tools, which there's a whole bunch down here too. So I would just use the ones down here for now. Let's see. So blob is gonna
Like what you were just doing.
yeah, it's just more severe. I think when I used it last, I had this setting on really, really hard. Layer is gonna like pull up. Oh no, it's gonna why isn't it working? What? I've used it before. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. They updated this since I used this last. This menu did not used to be like this at all. Okay. There also this is almost purely white on my screen and I can't hardly see it. I don't know why. Smooth. The main ones I use are friggin', where is it? Draw, which is what we were just doing. Okay.
Mhm.
And then smooth and flat. So flatten's can flatten based on wherever you selected. So I selected, that one part, or I can select here. And it just, you kind of flatten. Smooth does a very similar thing, but less severe. Let's scrape smooth. So it's just gonna smoothen things out.
Making them less
Got it?
pointy.
Yes. And then you can like pull things and stuff with different tools. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff. Swirl.
Jesus.
You can severely break everything very quickly. There's some other tools for this to make it much better. I don't know where they moved them to, so we're not going to worry about it. But we're just going to make a simple thing anyway, so it's not really going to matter that much. Okay.
Oh.
So, this is what it somewhat used to look like. Not the same, but close. So what are you going to use? You going to sculpt, or are you going to...
I don't know. I was thinking about like doing like our little river.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I had to...
A little river kind of runs down maybe to a pond over here. like maybe a small mountain over here, kind of like
Yeah.
running along it.
Yeah.
Then like a small,
Okay.
like 2 houses and some trees or something.
Yeah.
Something just small and
So
simple.
let's start with the river. So if you right click right now, it'll pull up your tool settings, which are also in the top left. And there you can adjust your radius and strength and kind of visually see it a little better. That's, yeah. And then to do a river, you'll have to switch it to negative real quick, which is in the top left. Control Z, by the way, undoes. Yep. So hit the negative next to strength. Yep. And then you can start drawing.
Something kind of like that. I mean, I know it's not gonna be perfect. It's the bottom of a lake.
I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. It's your first thing you've ever sculpted. Don't worry about it. So that looks great.
Okay.
And you can keep touching it more if you want. I should honestly have given you more room, but whatever. Let's do the hills and mountains now. Which you can use the exact same tool and just hit positive. Now, hold on. If you want to make it go straight up, I would do this a little bit because at a certain point, so like this is going straight up. At a certain point, you're going to be drawing on the side of it and it's going to come toward you and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just make sure you move the camera so that you can see like what you're doing. I would go ahead, go all the way, make this, oops, sorry. Make this whole corner fit and like the top over here. So don't get too like worried to like deform the edge.
Okay.
Oops, I'm not. It's gonna be ugly, but that's okay. Again, we're learning here. And from the perspective on the inside, you're not gonna see the outer edge anyway, so it doesn't matter. it kind of squashed itself. If you take the smooth tool real quick, which is somewhere in there, I'll click it for you. It's right here. And you just mess with that, it'll kind of fix it. It'll unwrap it basically because it kind of made a mess there. Yeah, and now you can sculpt on it again, and pull it out so that you don't have that weird crease.
Hello, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A fucked up little mountain.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool little mountain.
Mm-hmm. That's the deepest river I've ever seen.
Hey, them honey badgers don't
I was
give a
just
fuck.
thinking about it. I was like, I'm just thinking about it. And like, that's a mountain, and that's a ravine. It's fine. Leave it. It's fine. It's fine.
There.
I just think it's funny. All right. I would say looks good. Now shift middle mouse to the and like scoot yourself over, and let's look at this empty area, and maybe just kind of mess it up a little bit so it's not just a perfect flat plane. Maybe put a hill somewhere. You don't know how I would do it.
Huh?
So right now you kind of have like this whole flat area with a couple bumps every now and then, right? I personally, whoops, too far. Would just make this bigger and then kind of just, whoop,
Jesus.
okay, that was a lot. Turn strength way down and just kind of, you know what I mean? Kind of uneven the play.
Oh, gotcha.
Just so it's not just, you know,
Flat.
yeah. God, I can't see anything. I'm going to change the way your view looks. Is this fine?
Yeah.
Is that the one I like?
Ooh.
Yes, not that one. Not that one. Everything white, like I cannot see. Like I cannot see your search on your search bar. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, back to you. Your little hills are fine. Do whatever you want. I'm just saying. You had a large flat area that I would just kind of mess up a little bit and then put in detail.
Eh. I'd say that looks a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Now, before we do anything, the most important shortcut you can know.
Control S.
Control S.
Can't hear a word you say. Nope. It's cutting out. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you were like robotic.
Drag this window off your main screen and then choose where you want to put your folder. I personally have a folder somewhere on my computer that is just all Blender projects, whether it's in the Blender file or in on my hard drive that only has project files on it.
So create new documentary.
Probably. Make sure you name it something.
Um, call it Blender Crafts.
Okay. The folder.
Yes. Now, do I hit save Blender file or
Did you? What did you name the file?
Blender Crafts?
The project file or the folder file?
The folder.
Okay. Now make sure you select that folder, and then on the very bottom,
Hit
it should
save
say
Blender
untitled.
file. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to name that something.
Game.
Okay.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then save Blender file.
Game stuff. All right. What else did you want to make now?
Like a couple trees and I don't know, maybe like a stupid ass looking little house.
Okay. So let's get out of sculpting mode. Yep.
Object mode.
Object. Yep. Okay. Now, there's a couple things we can do. So up here is your thingy. I'm just gonna rename it. You can hide things so that they're not in your way. So I would just hide that for now,
Mhm.
and then let's model a tree. Nope. Shift A. The physical button you're looking for is at the top, and it says Add. Let's just model. Let's start with a cube. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna hit a button for you. Now if we go to edit mode on this object, I'm gonna move my mouse real quick. Okay, that way I don't accidentally do anything. So now let's model a tree. Let's start with like a low poly pine tree because those are easy. The first thing I would do is I would start with the trunk.
Mhm.
Do you want me to tell you what to do, or you want to figure it out? Tell me what you're trying to do so I can help you as you're going.
I have no idea.
It looks like you're trying to select something.
Um, so would I just like add another one on top of this
So
or stretch
how
it out?
about this? Let's do this. I'm gonna model one, and then I'm gonna have you model one. Okay. So there's two ways of doing this. First, I would just make the trunk. Whoops, that was wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. So I'm just gonna freaking. It's been so long. Do that, and then there's two things we can do. We can either add another cube, and then like right?
Looks like a mushroom.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we could extrude. This is the thing I was talking about to you before at one point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit E and it pulls out from it. And I'm just gonna immediately hit S without doing anything and just stretch it. And then I'll do E, up, S, E, S, E, up, S, E, S, E, up, ooh, ooh, up, S. Got it? Does that make sense?
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of what I'm doing. So like I'm making something. So now it's one solid object, which doesn't matter. In the case of like what we're doing, it's gonna be a solid object no matter what. But like if I go to change this vertex here, it's gonna change the top and bottom, you know. Versus if it was a separate thing, it would like just I could move it around, which maybe you want, you know. Is this thing crooked? I'm I messed something up. We'll leave it. It's fine. It adds character. So that's my tree. And now it's your turn.
Okay.
So again, you can either extrude, and again, all your tools are over here as well. So like extrude region. You can click this and then just like use its oop, oop. Okay, hold on. Make sure you only have selected what you want to extrude, you know? So like it makes it super simple if you use these instead of shortcut keys, but shortcut keys are just faster. So just tell me what you're trying to do and I'll tell you what to click, but I want you to do it. Okay?
Okay.
That was not the right button. Yep. Make sure you rotate because you only have one side selected. Right click to undo your selection. Yep. You have to turn it and then shift and make sure you hit the other one too. Because right now you have 3 points. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you didn't shift select, so you still only have 3 points.
what the fuck?
So here, let me show you something. So there's 3 points we can see right here, or we'll do the top ones. So if I select like this, it's not gonna get this back one right here. So you have to shift and then select that one, or make sure they're on view. Or if you go into wireframe view, which I'm hitting Z to do that, it's also this button right here. These. If you're in wireframe view and you can see the point through it, it'll select all of them. I don't know what this vertex crease you did, but you did something. Whoa, I have it on the mouse. Oh. Okay. You may continue. So explain to me what exactly you're trying to get right now. I can help you.
I don't know. I kind of want like the base of the trunk to be a little bit bigger. Maybe it's like
Okay.
kind of like that where it kind of narrows up.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want you to just talk of what you're doing while you're doing it.
Now I'm trying to build the outer piece. Then tower it
The
up to build like the
bottom
branches.
leaves part.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I did, which you've started correctly, is E to extrude. But then instead of placing it anywhere, I immediately just hit S. So hold on. Whoop. Let me hit right click real quick. I'm gonna show something real quick. So if you extrude and say you're way out here, if you hit S, it ignores the movement you did already. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? And then you can just, do that. There's also inset, but I don't know if inset. Oops, sorry. I don't know if inset works outward. Also, do you see the weird like visual thingy? The plane looks all funky for a second there.
Yeah.
That, hold on. That is because you have two planes in each other, and it's called clipping. It's not an issue right now, but you might see this later and be like, "Why the hell is that there?" You might just like grab a corner and move it and see if like it does this, because then you're like, "Oh, there's two planes inside of it." You know, like fuck to you.
It's not doing the thing.
What thing? Hold on. What thing?
How do I make it meow, at an angle?
What? Okay. So what I did, extrude again, like you just had. So make careful. So extrude actually and see what you just did. Uh, and pull it up and then just click. Oh, did you? Yeah. So because you just kind of did this, you got the weird inside ones too. Oh, you've extruded a couple times. So make sure when you're selecting things. Oh God. Hold on. You've made a mess. It happens. Don't worry. I broke it. My bad. Okay. From here, I would not just do this. Just be careful and, only get the points you need.
Okay.
The best way to tell is whether the lines to them are lit up, because seeing the points themselves are kind of difficult sometimes. But yeah, just careful. Now, what I did is I extruded up, so go up a bit and then place it with left click. And then I immediately just hit S and sized it inward.
Make fucked up tree.
It's like a mushroom. Yeah, and then just repeat the process. It's already selected. It's kind of hard to see because of the you did a thing, and so now they're all creased. You don't have to put it back. So if you accidentally do something, hold on. If you accidentally like extrude it and you don't want to, don't try to put it back and click, because now it's just forever there.
So just
And
right
if
click.
you extrude and then hit right click, it also creates it. It just puts it back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you extrude and you're like, oops, right click, it's still there. You need to, I think, just hit escape. Wait. No, yeah, you'll just have to Control Z every time. Otherwise, you'll make things that you don't want. So basically, if you hit E and you're like, oops, this line is no longer highlighted, that means there's a line between this point and another point right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What? It's let me move my mouse. It's subtle little things that you kind of have to pay attention to, otherwise you will break things. Like sizing, you can just right click to undo. There. So with this one, this one you want to be in its old location, so you can just right click. But we're not going to make a new one. We're going to size it.
S.
S. Yep. Size and rotation are the easiest ones because they're the actual letters. Ooh, okay, you clicked X. I think. Oh, you probably hit S again. Hold on. Don't touch anything. Yeah. Okay, you hit X. Anyway, basically what you did is you extruded and you added onto it, but you left it where it was at. Now you're just going to size it and put it how far out you want. Okay, that's inverted. Flip it. Go left instead of right. Yep, that way. All right, and just put the bottom of that part of the tree wherever you want.
How do I zoom out?
You'll have to place it and then zoom out with the mouse wheel and move it, and then you can just hit S and size it again. Are you trying to get flat view like this?
Not really. I was just trying to back up to
Okay,
see how far out I was. And then E.
Yep.
Oh.
Make sure you hold shift.
Okay, and then to bring it in, S, right?
Mm-hmm.
S, much way.
It's beautiful.
And then E. Oh no, it was S. So
No. It's well, hold on. So you had it correct. It's E, and then you're gonna make it stay where it's at. So you can just right click. And so now what you did is you made a new plane there, and then you're gonna size it. Oop, oop, hold on. Wait. So your points up here are
a little.
inside of each other. So what you did is you I'm frozen.
Okay.
Hold on. Internet. Internet. Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you sized it too small that it became a negative value and it was inverted. which was no good. Let me see something. Can you inset outward? No. Okay.
I built tray.
Your twig is beautiful.
Can I mess the trunk up some? Like pull this just one corner out, like it's like a warped, fucked up tree.
So try it. Do whatever you're trying to do, and then explain to me what you're doing, because I don't know what you're trying to say. You just like want it to be slightly misshapen or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna hit G to move the point. Yep. That might be a lot farther than you think. That actually was not as far as it looked.
It's a little fucked up. Oh.
Hit Z. Hit Z again. There you go. Basically what you did is you locked it to a plane. Okay, let me look real quick.
Hey, now he's
if
like a
you
little
select-
fucked up tree.
Yeah. If you select and you know you're moving or resizing, if you hold shift, it fine tunes, so it moves less depending on mouse movement. So if you need to try and like move something and it's moving too fast, you can hold shift. Control also locks to the grid, but to Amanda. I think your tree's beautiful.
Now what do we do with it?
Well, let's unhide. Well, actually, get out of edit mode and let's go to object mode. Let's hit hold Z real quick. Nope, actually that's wrong. Tab. Just hit tab. And it'll swap between the two. So tab again. Now we're in object mode. On the top right in your scene collection, you're gonna unhide land and cube. Yep.
In your tree.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now you can just take the tree. You have everything highlighted because the selecting in object mode is slightly more finicky than the edit mode. So I would just left click, shift left click if you're trying to select both, but I would just left click the one you want. On the over here. You can select them over there, but you can select them over here too. So like if I want both of these, I can. Whoops. Shift. Okay. Anyway, take a tree and put it wherever you want.
Can I just left click it? Or
Yeah, just left click. So don't drag, just left click. And then hit. What did you
shift left
hit?
click?
Yeah. And hold on. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to move it.
Okay. To move it, it's the same as the other stuff where you have G. You can also use these tools over here if you want.
So press G to move it.
Yes, but hold on, because I'm touching things. It's very important that's there.
G.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow. Sorry. I was trying to take my mouse off the screen. Oh yeah. So on the bottom, very, very bottom, it tells you your controls too for like the thing you're currently doing. So your sizing, so it says confirm, cancel. It had a bunch of stuff, but anyway.
Floating trees.
Yes.
How the fuck do I get over there?
Okay, hold on. Stop. Let go. This you can either, because you can move on the plane of where you're looking at. So you can either move where it's, left or right. Ooh, or I would just hit this Z so that you're top down. Figure out where you want it and put it there. And then once you're like it's where you want it, you can just sorry, shortcut key. You can hit one of these, like the Y. Make sure you shift drag, otherwise you'll pop out of it. And then you can fix its height. Make sense?
Kinda.
So with your tree selected, I would go into the Z view. Yep. Zoom out a little bit. Make sure you shift middle mouse if you're moving the screen. And then figure out where you want it. And then you can hit one of the other perspectives so that you get a perfectly flat, like, it doesn't have to be the other perspectives. Like here, for example, let me touch it real quick. So you could have also done this, I guess. So you can hit G like normal, but then you can shift Z and it'll only move on the other two axes. So you could have done that too. It's just kind of like weird to view. And then you don't have to be on the side perspective to take it Z and it'll only go up and down. So there's a bunch of different ways of doing whatever you want. So it's just depending on how you choose. I'd use hold on, hit the X again. Yeah, and that'll do the opposite. I just kind of, you can kind of see where it clips.
Sweet.
Yeah, and now we control S. Good. All right, now you're going to make like 20,000 other trees.
It's beautiful.
Now, let me show you something.
Hmm.
There's a couple things we can do. We can either click this tree, copy tree, place tree, copy tree, place tree, copy tree, place tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
This works perfectly fine. But if you want to be fancy with it, there's something else you can do. So I'm not going to teach you how to do it because it's a bit complicated for right now. But just watch me touch a bunch of stuff and understand that there's a bunch of tools that you'll learn later that you can use that'll make it so much easier for you. Okay. So let's see. We want some here. We want some trees here. Boop, maybe some right there. I don't know if I want. Yeah, we'll do here. Render object. New collection. Trees.
So many trees.
Yeah. I can make it. Let's see. Collection, trees, upper scale. I don't remember how to fix this, so we're just gonna do this. Nope, I'm gonna try and fix it real quick. I don't want to break our other stuff.
What the hell?
Nope, I can't figure it out. So I'm just gonna take this guy, put him over here. This guy, put him over here, and edit them to fix the rotation issue. And then fix height issue. Yep.
Many trees.
Many trees. And now the tree. We have a bunch of trees. So now we have like forests and stuff, depending on the paint that I did earlier. However, I don't want any in the river. Yeah. So now we have like a whole bunch of trees.
Hell yeah.
So basically what I did is I told it, hey, let's create particles and let's make those particles look like this object, which is these two. And then I told it randomly choose between the two objects and place them in the places highlighted, which is really nice. I can also just like go in here and be like, let's have less of them, or let's have more of them, stuff like that. So this is a tool I'll teach you eventually, but let's wait. Okay, so now you want to build a cabin?
Yes.
How detailed do you want the house to be?
Just a square and a roof with a
Okay.
door.
So let's do that. So let's select the collection up top that just is called collection. Top right. Yeah. Nope, the other one. This one. And then I'm gonna hide this, and I'm gonna hide this. But I want you to select that way the object you create automatically goes into that collection. So now let's create a cube. Add. Why is your mouse not showing up for me? Hold on.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, my bad. Hold up. Oop. Okay. So add on the top left. We'll pull down the menu to add objects. It's next to object mode. Yep. And again, you can Shift A if you need to. There's a shortcut key for that, but if you don't have a full-size keyboard, you can't hit the button.
Cube.
Let's edit this cube. Do you want me to make one and then you make one, or do you want to just go for it?
I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Already did it wrong.
Just right click to undo that one, and then S.
Oop. And then I just how do I pull these in again?
I can't see your mouse for some reason, but hit S.
Okay.
And then if you only want to pull in a certain direction, hit X or Y or Z. But if you, yeah, you can do it like that, or you can do like the triangle top by just doing one side.
Looks pretty good.
Add a door.
So
What are you looking for?
add stuff.
It's next to where you just clicked.
Should I do another cube?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. There you go. I would start by just moving it out of there so that you can actually see it.
How do you move it? Shift?
G.
Mm, Halt.
Tell me what you're trying to do.
Highlight the whole thing, but not that one.
Here's a shortcut key for you. Hover over one of the points and hit L. You don't highlight, just hover over. That selects everything connected to what you just looked at. Oh, whoa! What did you? I do not know what tool you just hit.
I pressed G.
What? G? Oh, G again. I've never done that. Okay. Are you trying to squish it?
No, I was just moving it over a little bit.
Okay. Do you want me to center your camera on it?
Let me see if I can figure it
Okay.
out. Camera.
It's not gonna be over there.
Wouldn't it like Control Z or something? Or
No. Hold on. I don't know where I'm gonna find it. So, are you talking? What camera are you talking about? Where you center on it, or where you go to flat view?
I'm not worried about it. Okay. Cube. Would I highlight
Just
these four?
Okay.
Right. And then
I think I know what you're trying to do. So
I'll make it
in
small.
this case, yeah. So in order to flatten it, because you only highlighted one plane, you just need to move the plane. So hit G and then X so that you don't make it wonky. Yep. There you go. Now, when you're done with that, I want to show you something. Okay. Now, to make it, say you want to squish it this way, instead of just grabbing this plane and moving this plane in, you could just take the whole object because it's just a cube and scale it this way. Again,
And how did
can't
you do
see
that?
the vertex in the very back. So rotate to the back side, and you'll notice it's not fully selected.
What the fuck?
You can't select vertices you can't see. Okay. Now I just scaled it, and then I locked it to the y-axis. S. Y.
And then get it to go smaller.
Hold on. Do whatever.
How do I get it to go down? Would it be the X?
Up and down only.
Yeah, like
it'd be Z. So hold on before you do anything. To help. So Y is green this way, X is this way, and Z is up and down. So whenever you need to remember what axis, you can look up at this compass.
So I need Z.
Oh, okay, hold on. You need to tell it what you want to do first. So you want to scale, so S. Then Z, yeah.
Bit of a big door.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. What door on building?
Let's do this. So I want you to hit the compass on the top right, the red marker, so that you flat view it. Yep. And then let's hit hold Z and then select the left one, wireframe, yep. And now move your door where you want it.
Right there, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. And then I would select the Y on the compass or the Z, either or, and then move it to the front of the building. Just hit X so you don't go up and down. I'd push it out a little bit. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Now you can just move your camera and look at how it looks. And then if you hit Z and then go to the right, you'll go to solid view again. I meant Z on the keyboard. Solid. Yep.
Look, it's a
That's your
house.
house. And I should make a window. Now, I will say, you can add another cube, or if you want to reuse the door, you can duplicate it by Shift D. And then let's move it on a plane axis. Hold on. So I want you to Shift D to duplicate, move it, and then don't select anything. Just move your mouse slightly. Yep. Let's hold Shift X. Okay. Now don't keep holding it. That you just have to press it. Now it's moving on the Y and the Z axis only. So now you can put it where you want it on the house, on that same side. Pretty easily. Oh, you hit a S, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Shift D.
Oh, hold on. You might have more than one. Okay. We live in an Make sure you click so that it finalizes it. And now you can size it. So you won't be able to select all the vertices because the four on the back are inside the house. You can't see them. So either you can go into wireframe view, or you can hover over the corner, hover over one of the vertices, and hit L, and it'll select all vertices attached. Z left. Yeah. Okay. I see. Rotate the camera. Yeah, see, you got them all selected.
And then just S for scale.
Yep. And then if you only want to go up and down, you can hit Z, or if you want to scale all of it.
Looks party.
Mm-hmm.
Should we add in a chimney?
Yeah, why not? And again, like, you can add a cube, or you can select the door and just duplicate it, and then move it, resize it. Because I mean, I don't know, it's whatever the hell you want to hit. I really want to open Blender on mine and start making what you're making. Just me making it, because I like making things. But I don't know if
How
it
do
would
I
be
make it
me.
wider again?
Scale S, and then the axis you want to scale it on. X. Yeah. Beautiful.
Fucking mint.
Looks great.
Well, now
Um,
turn the eyes back on or save.
Save, and then exit edit mode. Yep. And now you can turn the eyes back on and put the house where you want. Also, if there's a place you want to put it, but there's a bunch of trees, I can move the trees away. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna touch real quick.
Sorry.
Oop. This, and then I'm gonna turn that off. That way the trees aren't everywhere right now. All right, back to you. Was your goal to put it on that hill?
Yes.
It was really funny how it lined up, only to turn the camera just for it to not be there.
Oop.
I would just hold on, hit Z. That way you're just going straight down.
Fucking
There,
mint.
I'm gonna center your camera. Okay.
I'm an artist, okay? Struggle.
No, it looks great, but I'm laughing at how you're trying to get it so perfect.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. It looks great.
Trees.
All right. Now what would you like to do? Oh, so the trees it's a different thing. Let me do it. It's a different thing. It's down here. Boop.
Get that
Oh, there's a
fucking
tree in
tree
the
out of
middle.
my house.
I'm sorry. What was it? Weight paint. Make sure there's no tree in the house. Also, this tree's like sideways because it's depending on the plane, but I can also tell it straight up and stuff.
Looks real. Sweet. Sweet.
Hmm.
Can you like delete individual trees?
In the way that it is, no. However, I can do what I just did and delete where the tree is, like where trees are allowed. So, what trees that you want to get rid of?
No, no, I'm just curious.
But do you get what I was saying though?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you want, we can like draw a path through the trees, and then there wouldn't be trees there, you know?
The house is so small.
It is. But I mean,
It's big land. Mountain.
yeah. I mean, we can make the tree smaller too so that the house looks a little bigger. What are you thinking about?
I'm just looking at stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, whenever you're ready to learn the next thing, I will teach you. Actually, let's make some water real quick.
Let's do some water.
So, in this case, it's going to be the simplest thing, and it might look weird because we didn't plan for it ahead of time. But I want you to just make a plane. To the right. You have object mode, view, select, add object.
Where at?
Object mode, top left, to the right of it. Add.
Oh.
Yep. Plane. Nope. 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 Mesh. Mesh. Up. Up. Yep. Plane. Okay. Now we're gonna go to edit mode, and you're just gonna hit S, and you're gonna drag that mouse. Just. Oop. What? You don't really need to see it. Just trust me. Just S and drag. Drag out. 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 Bigger. 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 Up. 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 You can go outside your window and it loops back around.
Yeah, but there's nothing here.
I don't know why that is. Okay. Something's wrong. Oh, you might have deselected it. Or it's just, it takes forever. There you go. Now you have water.
Well,
You ready to learn texturing? And materials? I'm not going to teach you texturing right now. But I'll teach you materials.
that's really how you make water? That is wild.
The water is always a lie. Yeah.
What if we build a little dock?
Yes. I wanted to do that as soon as you said you were going to make a river, as I wanted to make a dock. Okay. Two things. We can either do what we've been doing where we hide everything. and build a dock, or we could just like find where we want it. And we can go to edit mode and like start building with it here. The only problem when we do this is like we can't see half the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why we hide it. But because like I started over here, if I want, I can just hide it now. That's not it. That's not it. This is why we name things. And so now we can like start making it here. And then every now and then like boop, boop, you know? There's a bunch of things that you can do. But I'm going to delete this because I promise you it'll get really confusing if we use that. Since because I disoriented it and turned it, your other like shortcut keys don't work the same anymore. So I'll have you make it. I'm gonna move my mouse. There we go. Remember shift middle mouse and you can pan. You're in object mode.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Every day.
So like
Oh.
right click. G.
Oh yeah.
And then because like
why?
don't move. Yeah. Okay. Because you can see the grid and you can see how like you're you like getting crooked from it. Yeah. But because you hit Y, it's perfect. Oh. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. I think you would probably enjoy using planes, faces, instead of vertices.
What's that?
You did the thing that I always tell you not to do. Where so instead of selecting vertices, you can select faces.
Oh.
Now you can also do lines as well, or edges. But I think with how you've been making things so far, this would just be easier for you and stuff. Okay, so let's try that. See, yep.
Little talk.
Yeah. Put your posts. So let's use a cylinder. Now down. Down. Yep. Up. Yep. Okay. Now don't click anything. When you add something, you get settings on the bottom left. The cylinder has quite a few. So vertices are how many, how detailed. So if you lower that, I'd put it at like 5, which will be a pentagon. Enter. Yep. And it's, or 6, whatever you want. Just something that's circular, doesn't look too much like a cube, because since everything's low poly, we want to try and kind of keep the style and not have it a perfect circle. So something simple like that, and then you can move it wherever you want. I would hit L so that you select the whole thing. Yep. And then, oh, yep, nope. G to move it wherever you want. Oh, oh, okay, hold on. Right click. Okay. G, and then let's do Shift Z. And now that'll move X and Y, but it won't move in the Z. So you want that on your corners, because that's the posts, that hold the thingy up. Just drop it there. Oh, okay. Oh, oh no. Okay. Now it's kind of fat, so let's make it skinny again. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. And you can either scale it down and then make it tall, or we can do what we did a second ago with the moving and scale it only by X and Y, which would be Shift Z.
What do you think? That big?
Yes, hold on. But hit Shift Z. Oh, you a hoe. I was going to help you skip a step, basically.
Shift Z.
Okay, you hold on. You don't have it selected. You were pushing a bunch of random things. So, oh my god, you're gonna select it, and you scaled it, right? And you were scaling it like this, which is fine. And then afterwards, you're gonna have to scale it like this. But you can do both by Shift Z, or sorry, S, and then Shift Z to tell it to scale by everything but the Z axis, and then you can make it skinny. Then you don't really have to resize it up unless you want to a little bit more, but now it's like closer to where you're headed.
And then I can just copy, right? D.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't know why okay, hold on. Right click. Okay. Hover over it. Yeah. Okay, there's 2 objects there. So did you just duplicate again?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Controls, let go. Okay. How many objects are here? 1, 2. Okay. Delete. All right, try again.
Pretty good.
The posts need to be underneath to hold the thing up. And honestly, because you're under the grid right there, I would just move the bottom plank up.
How do I move that up? G.
G, yeah. And then Z, because you're moving, yep. Yep. And then if you want, you can add more of the thingies so that you have more, or you can leave it like that. I would select both of them. So hover over the other one as well and hit L. Yep. And then you can shift D, copy them both. G, Y.
The hell?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, looks perfect.
Oh. What
It looks beautiful. All right, do you have anything else you want to add to it?
No.
Okay. You're going to go to object mode. Yep. And then you're going to save. Yep. And then let's go to solid view. Yes. Okay, let's bring everything else back. You can leave trees hidden. You might go to wireframe just so you can see, because it's kind of hard to. Oh, you just hid your. Yeah, it's underneath the map right now. Yeah, see, it's right there. So let's select it and then drag it somewhere else. Oh my god, nope. Yep. Yep. All right. Let's zoom out, find the river, and try and get it in the river.
Oh, sir.
Yep, I would use that view. Put it where you want it. You can rotate it if you want as well. Yeah, looks good.
How do you rotate?
Hold on. Hold right click real quick so you undo whatever you just did. Okay. Now R. And then Z so that you don't do that. Yeah.
I built a dock.
Yep. Looks beautiful. I'm gonna touch. Yeah, that's how I feel every time after I spend hours doing this. Just friggin' What did I? What happened? Hello?
I'm still here. Did you disconnect?
My mouse is gone. No, I see you moving.
Says you still have access.
Go ahead and kick me. You can click me and kick me, and then I'm gonna rejoin. Oh, my mouse died.
Silly goober.
I don't remember where I put battery. Oh, I did. Ah, let me in. And then you have to give me access it again.
Oh, you, buddy.
Why is this so weak? What? Something, I broke something.
You trying to take away or add?
I'm trying to take away right here, but I can add full strength, but when I take away, it's not full strength. I did something somewhere on accident. When I hold shift, it feels like it's turning into blur. Nope. Oh,
What house?
uh, yeah, I hit the wrong button. Don't hit the wrong button. World origin. Oh my god, I cannot hit the single correct button. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make a little path. Ta-da. Why is there a tree in the middle of my path? Okay. It's a great looking dock. Is there anything else you want to add?
I think that might be it for today.
No.
Yes,
No.
I got stuff I got to do.
But we gotta make it look pretty.
Colors?
It's just white. Yeah, with colors.
Oh, may have to do that for the next time.
Cause like water. That was the wrong one. Water. Blue.
So beautiful.
Okay.
Control S.
Yeah. I hit that every time I do anything. The best way to know, I mean, you can always just hit Control S, but the best way to know if it's saved or not is if there's an asterisk on the top left next to game stuff.
Oh.
That means it's unsaved.